Here's some of the new ways UCSF is preventing and treating cancer in women. As our planet weathers major environmental threats, is it too late to save it? Maybe not. We'll tell you some simple things you can do right now that could still work. And the stars are ready to shine on Mill Valley for the town's 33rd annual film festival. I'm Susan Sikora, and that's on Bay Area Focus next.
That'll do it.
Welcome back. The human race may one day deeply regret its slow response to the challenge of climate change facing us right now. While paid-off politicians dither, so the oil and energy industry can protect their profits, and a complacent, confused public lets them, the actions we must take to reverse the crisis languish on someone's desk. Those are the words of Vinit Allen, Executive Director of the Sustainable World Coalition. And he was also a delegate to the UN World Summit in South Africa. And he is the author, or really the person that really put this together, of a book called Sustainable World Sourcebook. It's a collection of simple things you can do now. Vinit Allen, welcome.
Thank you so much for being here.
Okay. First of all, you talk about sustainable. What's planet sustainability?
Sustainability simply means systems that are designed into something, be it nature, be it a corporation, be it a organization, that will allow it to flourish, that will allow it to succeed, be in harmony with the people or entities it interacts with. So it's a basically neutral word, but it does mean if it's in harmony that it will thrive and continue to exist.
Can you give me a concrete meat and potatoes example?
Sure. Well, nature is the best example we have. It's something that there's no garbage, nothing is wasted. Everything is used and reused by everything else. So it's a completely closed, contained system, and by definition sustainable. It's the perfect example for us all.
Okay. All right. In this source book, I mean, there are a lot of good ideas. Some of them are new, and a lot of them I've seen in other places too, although I think they bear having a reminder. But a lot of people are going to say, you know what? I don't think I can make a dent. So I change a few light bulbs, and I recycle some bottles, and I use cold water in my wash. How's that going to change the world? And you say?
Small actions done by a lot of people add up to a huge impact. Those are relatively small actions, it's true. There are much larger actions that we can take. For example, cutting down on the amount of gas mileage we're using, whether it's driving our car a lot, inefficient cars, using the plane a lot, really analyzing how much energy impact we're having on the planet. How much am I throwing away? What kind of diet do I have? What's the implications there? There's a lot of higher impact actions we can take than simply replacing a light bulb, but everything is important. To be able to analyze our life pretty thoroughly is the key.
You talk in the book, I think you said the term throwing away, and you actually say, where is away? Where does it go? You know, it goes somewhere. It's not that it just goes away. And yet, I mean, if you were, my mother had some health issues this past summer, and it took most of the summer, but you know, I would see things. She got great care, but I would see things like people throwing away rubber gloves. Well, you needed to, but you think, well, where does that all go? I mean, there's so much of this stuff all day long, and how many rooms and how many patients. I mean, this stuff goes on all over, doesn't it?
Exactly. That's the perfect example of what I would call an unexamined assumption that's built into our culture. We never think about the idea we can throw our garbage away. It just disappears.
Yeah.
And of course, it goes into landfill. It begins, toxic waste begins seeping into the ground. It gives off methane there. I mean, everything we do has an effect.
Don't we, I wonder though if it is too late in the sense of, you know, there's so many things that have had, the weather for one has changed, all right? The summer in San Francisco has been cooler while it has been brutally hot on the East Coast. You see more hurricanes, all right? Katrina and then on. We have just witnessed the Gulf spill, which looks at certainly our addiction to oil and that kind of energy use for going back to the transportation that you said. And look at the dismal results that we have there now to clean up probably for years.
That's correct. Anytime you have that large release of toxins into anything, that's going to affect wherever it's leaching into for a long time. And we know that oil has piled up on the beach. It's seeped into the sand. That's going to affect the ecosystems and the generations to come that would have been healthy and reproductive, that's going to affect all of that. And if we've got thousands of oil wells all over the Gulf, something is going to go wrong at some point. When you have that level of dependence on one particular form of energy to where it's that over the top, you're inviting disaster.
All right, they're going to have to do some special things clearly in that area, and maybe even a little more extreme. Tell the rest of us what we can do here in California to start making a difference today.
Well, every time we buy anything, we vote with our dollar. That's something we go throughout the day buying things. And every time we do, we invest in the particular company and the policies of that company. So if that particular company is driving a lot of the industries that we know are contributing to the problem, then we're investing in that. On the other hand, if the company has an express commitment to serving the environment and serving the community that they're in, then that is what we invest our dollars in.
You like a vegan diet? Rather than a plant-based diet?
Well, diet is huge. It's actually the #1 personal choice arena that affects the environment.
Okay. Public transportation, if it were better, certainly it would be a nice option for people to take. If we had a little more of the smart trains, the electric trains, whatever, going instead of all these people bumper to bumper every single day.
Absolutely.
We have that.
Of course, we do have a fair amount now, but it takes the willingness to perhaps take a little longer to arrive and actually take the public transportation option. So that's, again, up to us. A lot of us are driving our single-person cars all over the place, and that's really contributing as well.
Okay, the book is called Sustainable World Source Book, and there are a lot of things in here. There's several lists. They're kind of highlighted, so if you don't have time to read the whole book cover to cover, you can pick up a list and things, you know, some things that you can do right away regarding transportation, regarding things in your home, getting rid of the clutter in your house, and maybe donating something that you don't need to someone who is in need. I think there's churches, I think, in the San Francisco Diocese now that are collecting various things for people in the San Bruno area that are missing. I mean, you know, there's something sitting in your closet. You got 3 jackets. Take one, give it to someone who needs one, you know. Anyway, okay. Vinit, Alan, thank you very much for your work.
Ricky, thanks so much.
Okay.
Really appreciate your support for what's important here.
Thank you. Okay, stay with us. We'll get a preview of the Mill Valley Film Festival next.